Hey folks, my name is Mike. This is KEI Fabrication and welcome to my shop. And this is my most recent project, and this is my shop truck, my daily driver, my race truck, my garbage truck, and my all-around performance vehicle. It is a junkyard build where we drag two vehicles out of two different junkyards and combine them to make one performance vehicle. If you want to follow along with the channel, you can see the progress of the build on this truck and all the modifications that have been made. So this truck has already been to car shows, it's been road racing, it's been drag racing, and it's been circle track racing. So we've got a bunch more new projects in the queue. We're looking forward to meeting more of you. And for those of you who've been with the channel for a while, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate your comments and the interaction and encouragement. Hopefully through this project we've gained some credibility with you folks. And let's see what's coming up next. Well folks, here we go again. Got one more event we're squeaking in before the end of the season. It's 28 degrees out this morning. And I just took the truck down to breakfast, and then I drove it home, loaded it on the trailer, and now we're going to go race it. So we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you posted. Well folks, we're at the Speedway. Today is kind of what they call a thrill show. They've got a huge demolition derby, enduro. There's the pit gate to get in. This is where got some Spectator drag cars lined up. We got a Volvo and an Acura, and this is the kind of thing I was worried about coming up with the truck. You know, we've got guys with these Nitto drag tires or you know, what, autocross tires or something like that. You know, the DOT street legal. They got DOT numbers on them, and therefore they are allowed, but they're significantly stickier than any street tire. So I am concerned. They do this by the draw. You all your participant names are in a hat, and you draw the competitor for your first round, and then they build the ladder from there, just like any other race, even street racing. You know, that's how it's done when the ladder is built. I'm really fearful that, you know, I'm going to go up against somebody that's got more of a race prepared with sticky tires and go out in the first round, but we'll see. I mean, it's all luck of the draw. I'm here to have fun, but I also would like to go a couple of rounds just to get the truck on the track. Funny story, when I pulled in and asked about Spectator Drags, the first thing they did was said, with what? Even though the truck was on the trailer, their first comment was, with what? And I pointed to the thing on the back. They were all concerned because it might be four-wheel drive. I assured them that it wasn't, and then somebody come over and said, the ladder's going to have to come off. And I explained to them that I've run it at Thompson Speedway and I've run it at England Dragway, and it's physically bolted to the rack and it can't come off. So they said, oh, okay. So it looks like they're going to let me run with the rack again. So that'll be cool. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the spectator reaction along with that. So I'll keep you posted as things develop. They probably have, there's a truck enduro and demolition derby. There's a four-cylinder enduro and demolition derby. So to be honest with you, when the price of scrap went way up in New England here, the car count for demolition derby or enduro was huge reduction, because the cars were worth more money as scrap and nobody could get them cheap, and they were going right to the crusher for, you know, $400 or $500, and you could never even get an opportunity to buy one of these things. So this is the largest vehicle count for something like this I've seen in probably close to 15 years. So this is kind of encouraging that this entry-level grassroots kind of event is making a resurgence. And these vehicles are becoming, you know, you can buy them for $100, $150 again, where when the scrap prices were really high, these things were worth about $600 going across the scale. So you couldn't buy them. You'd even have an opportunity to get one because people were grabbing them and hauling them directly to the crusher because, you know, they were earning a real good paycheck. So now that the price of scrap is down, it's bottomed out, people have an opportunity to have fun with them and then go crush them. So Hopefully we'll get some quick footage of some of these events. I don't know how long we're going to stick around, but the good news is the Spectator Drag event is first, so the track isn't a mess when you're out there driving around with your vehicle, and the debris isn't all over the place. So anyway, that's enough rambling, and I'll let you know what's going on as things develop. So here's a rundown of the lineup. Obviously there's the Mazda 3rd gen Camaro on 200 treadwear series super fat tires. Got a Volvo, I believe that's a turbo. So again, this is kind of what I was afraid of. It's kind of a race prepared 4th gen Camaro on race tires. Now this car is pretty fast actually. This Jeep is pretty quick, but there's a reason. It's got some serious sticky tires on there.
He gave Kevin a good race, but Kevin
Good. Yeah, I had to freaking bleed the clutch for a half hour. Yeah. No, this is from assholes not knowing how to bleed the slave cylinder. That do my clutch. Got a brand new clutch in it.
It's a race prepared Mustang, fully caged, but street driven. Race prepared Camaro, super fat, sticky tires. Here's the back end of the Concorde. Nice little Volkswagen. I'm not sure what this is powered by, but I've seen this on the videos and it's pretty quick. Got the cop car, cop tires, cop shocks, cop engine.
The rubber's so dense, it soaks up the heat, and then it radiates it off for like 20 minutes. So like even if I heated them up and we sit in for 10 minutes and then I race.
How close are you to the track?
I'm like a 40-minute drive.
I was gonna say, if you were close enough to the track, just do it before you leave. Some of the guys here are freaking
Corvette, Trans Am on race rubber basically. Got a BMW 328. It's a race prepared G-body. This car's pretty quick too. So, and we've got another Camaro SS 4th gen. Some new arrivals. Pretty cool. This is pretty cool. Just looking under the hood, you obviously see a small block Chevy. AMC Concorde. So folks, we're going into the track here in just a moment, and we'll be out on the track real quick. We're second in line. So what they had was a call out thing, and basically I was talking to the owner of the Datsun there, and it's a 240Z with a 280Z motor with his daughter driving it, and I'll be racing her. And the good news is that because this is a last of the season and a special event, everybody is going to get a minimum of 2 laps, or 2 races. So I'm excited about that. So obviously I can't do this and drive at the same time, so here we go.
Our next matchup is definitely one of the most unique we've had all year long. Davina Toll out of East Falmouth and her Datsun 280Z, that's a 1975. And she'll be going up against Michael Kugler in the 1992 Mazda B2200 out of Hope Valley, Rhode Island. Still has the ladder. As long as it's tied down well enough, I guess it'll be all right. He is off right out of the gate. He put that Nissan to shame as he jumped on the gas. Down the back goes Kugler. I guess that means he's got to step up on him. Well, he certainly has more than a step up on the size of that ladder. He's going to take.
Well, folks, I won the first round against that 280Z. spun a little bit off the line. Definitely got no experience with the groove here and how the truck handles. The clutch type posi is hurting me a little bit, but it accelerated good, so we're gonna try it again. I'm in line to go in another round. They got a whole bunch of cars to run through, and then we'll be up again. So I'm gonna put the camera away so I can pay attention to what's going on.
So we bring out the non-winners bracket and give them a second chance to get back into the show.
Yeah, I don't. I just got a ladder on it. No, I think
Okay, so now what they did was they just put everybody back in the same mix for the first one. So what's going to be fun is us trying to figure out who's in what. Down into 3 and 4, as they come off the corner side by side, the Mazda pick up a little bit loose and the truck.
So folks, that was fun. I got taken out by a 3rd gen Camaro. He had me by a couple car lengths. With that single locker rear, you know, that posi rear end with the clutch slipping, I just couldn't get the bite off the corner, and he drove around me. I was ahead till between 3 and 4, and he, if you see that, that's my key. My ignition is so worn out, when I went around the corner, the key come flying out of the ignition, so I gotta maybe put a new ignition set in this. So anyway, accelerating off the corner, he was on, you know, basically autocross rubber or 200 series tires that were twice as wide as mine, so he got the bite off the turn. But it was fun. My wife has some video from the stands, and it'll be interesting to see what and hear what people had to say. So I'll put all this together and we'll go from there. Okay folks, well, we made it back from the Spectator Drags at Seekonk yesterday. And the cool thing about this truck and this project is we've competed in 3 different types of motorsports, gone to a couple car shows, we've been to the dyno. Not all successful trips, but certainly stretching the limits of the project some, but also figuring things out for where we need to pay attention to for next year. I have to say, for the dollars invested in the Spectator Drags, still maintaining a street vehicle, that is really a fun event. The danger is that if you get eliminated in first round, it's kind of like going drag racing at you know, a drag strip. You go home. So the entry fee is $30. The bonus to that is the Spectator Drags run first, and then there's a bunch of entertainment type things: enduros, figure 8 racing, chain racing, and from time to time, when they have enough entrants, they'll do trailer racing as well. So kind of like, you know, it's the Spectator Drags kicks off the thrill show program. So for the $30, you get maybe 1 or 2 passes on the track, and you get to sit down in the stands and enjoy a show as well, which yesterday's show was pretty cool. I'll put a link in the description below on there's a video representative that posts videos on YouTube for the Seekonk Speedway Spectator Drags. So the point I wanted to make here is, with this project and the scope of this project, is it's still a daily driver. To turn this thing from a daily driver to a race truck and back again really just involves swapping the spare tire around and you know, putting the things back behind the seat to change the tire. And just about every vehicle I own has some sort of toolkit, spare belt, etc. So, you know, that's the cool thing about a project like this. It's kind of met my expectations and in some ways exceeded it. And what it's done by getting out there and messing around with this thing, which was my goal all summer, through these different venues, I've definitely got some neat things that I can pay attention to and maybe establish a budget for and make it even more competitive, and still maintain the sleeper look. I have to say, hopefully if I do video editing correctly, the ladder has been a huge conversation piece, if nothing else. It really amplifies the sleeper aspect, and the cool thing is all 3 tracks that I ran at have allowed me to run it. So super excited. Nice end of the season. It was a beautiful day yesterday at the Spectator Drags. I did get 1 win on a call out, and as you saw in the video, the second round was against a pretty much race prepared Camaro on effectively what's race rubber. So for junkyard street radials and yeah, a junkyard built truck with a junkyard engine, transmission and rear end, and the truck itself came out of a junkyard, to even come as close as I did to hanging with that Camaro really says something. You got to remember, this is a junkyard engine with, now it has just under 200,000 miles on it. It's got like 196,000, never been touched, bone stock, and same with the transmission. You know, other than oil changes and plugs and bolting the headers on because the stock manifolds just plain old wouldn't fit, that's it. That's all that's done to this thing. So it's pretty cool. Again, it's met or exceeded my expectations for enjoyment. It's been a great daily driver and a lot of fun. And one thing I really get discouraged over is the winter time and not having the ability to go to any track events or anything like that. So anyway, that'll wrap up the series of events that I was able to take the truck to, just to kind of get a baseline on what its capabilities are and make a plan of attack over the winter and what we may attempt to do with it next year. So stay tuned. We'll make a list of upgrades down the road, and I'll make sure that you folks all are aware of what our plans are for next year here pretty shortly.